Today's episode is brought to you by Into the AM, a clothing brand from Southern California that wants to outfit your passion, whatever it might be. Their everyday comfortable fabrics and designs are great whether you are working from home, working out, or even just chilling out. I love the fit and fabric on their everyday t-shirts, and you can choose more funky styles created in collaboration with local artists like this killer Fractured King hoodie. Use the code Dustin10 or follow the link in the description to get 10% off site-wide, including their monthly t-shirt club. Visit intotheam.com/Dustin10 for more information.
Hi, I'm Dustin Abbott, and I'm here to give you a little tutorial today to show you how to do a firmware update on one of the more recent Samyang AF lenses. One of the things that Samyang has done is that they have been quite consistent in updating the firmware on these lenses, and as a byproduct, they do get steadily better as time goes by. And I've seen, for example, autofocus really improve on some of their earlier lenses. Now, they continue to refine the lenses in terms of performance and getting rid of bugs, maybe adjusting to new cameras, equipment that come out, but also in the case of, for example, these VAF lenses that are designed to have an electrical connection to new accessories as they are released. They are, firmware updates also will allow you to use those accessories more successfully. And so, for example, the new manual focus accessory that come out on the front of these, there is a firmware, the most recent firmware updates for these lenses allows compatibility, full compatibility with that. And so it's very useful to have that. Now, to do a firmware update, you're going to need obviously the lens itself, you're going to need a computer of some kind, and you're also going to need a third component, which is the Samyang lens station. Now, the lens station run you roughly $50. Sometimes you can, package it in with a lens depending on the retailer. But you're going to want to have this if you're going to own any of these Samyang lenses because it just adds to your versatility and your long-term success with them. So, very simply, you're going to download a free piece of software from Samyang that is called their Lens Manager software. You're going to mount this onto, it's basically just like a bayonet on a camera. You mount it onto that, and then there is a USB A style port that will plug into the computer or laptop that you're using, and then we'll switch over and take a look at the software side to see the steps for updating the firmware.
So a quick look on how to do a firmware update using the Samyang Lens Manager and their lens station. So first thing you're going to need to do is you come to the lens connection page. Once you load the program, you're going to hit the lens connect. Typically it selects the right port in advance, and so once it does that, it's going to connect, and in this case we're connecting into the 75mm T1.9. So we can see here that we're looking for a firmware update possibly here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click the download link. That actually loads a website, and it gives you an option to take a look at the various lenses. And so obviously you're going to want to navigate over to the correct lens. You're going to click download. In this case, we had version 3 we saw. There's a version 4 that's available. I'm going to click download at that point. The next step you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to actually extract to make sure that that actual firmware file is available. And so you can click extract all, and I'm going to put it just in there. And I've already done this step. So anyway, but you'd normally just follow that step. Once you've done that, you can then hit the load lens firmware file, and so in this case I'm going to navigate back up, and I need to look at the 75mm T1.9 version 4. I'm going to click that, and so it says it's read it. Now I click the update, so the third of the 3 steps there, and so it takes roughly about 2 minutes for it to load that. So once that's completed, it will tell you to reconnect after you have connect that. So I'm going to hit OK. It's going to disconnect. It brings me back to this lens connection stage. I can reconnect at this point, and once it has communicated with that, we will find that now it's showing version 4 of that firmware update. One other thing before we close off here is if you go down to this custom SW, it gives you the ability to change your custom settings on these lenses. In this case with the VAF lenses, there's a few more controls. For me, I have a certain priority that I like for their mode, custom mode switches, and so I like aperture control in mode 1 and then immediately go into manual focus in mode number 2. So I'm going to save that, and away we go for that. And so then at this stage, you just want to disconnect the lens before you actually physically remove it.
So just like that, very simple, just takes a few minutes, and after that you have a lens that now has upgraded compatibility, upgraded flexibility, and it's a very quick fix. If you want more information on this, you can take a look in the description down below. There's also links there to purchasing, for example, the lens station if you're wanting something like that, and also throw a link to where you can download the lens manager software from Samyang as well. I'm Dustin Abbott. As always, you can find linkage also in the description to follow me on social media, to get channel merchandise, to become a patron. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and let the light in.